Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to be doing a summer book recommendations along with my TBR for the summer. I am so excited to do this. I typically am not your go-to girly for summer book recs. I feel like I fall short in that category a little bit. I feel like I am your go-to book girly for fall book recs, but I do have some really good summer book recs that I'm excited to share with you guys. So if you guys want to get some inspiration on what to read for the summer, then keep watching. We're gonna start off strong here with one of my favorite authors, and that is Abby Jimenez. I am absolutely obsessed with Abby Jimenez and her writing. Surprisingly, these are the first books that I read that aren't young adult, that are romance books that don't have very much spice in them. So if you're not a spicy girly, these are right up your alley. These are all interconnected standalones. We have Yours Truly, we have Part of Your World, and Just for the Summer. And if you read them chronologically in order, you should technically read Part of Your World, then Yours Truly, and then Just for the Summer. But I read them as Yours Truly, then Part of Your World, then Just for the Summer. And I think that you're okay with reading either Yours Truly or Part of Your World first, as long as you read Part of Your World before you read Just for the Summer. You will get spoiled in Just for the Summer if you read it first before Part of Your World. Have Jacob and Bree. They are both ER doctors. Jacob is a new ER doctor in Bree's hospital. I believe that Bree is looking to be promoted to chief of surgery of the ER department, and Jacob comes onto scene and now she has to compete with him. Abby Jimenez somehow in this book included almost every single romance trope there is, and it was so well done. It's actually insane. I think she had at least 5 romance tropes going on in this book, and they were so well done, each and every one of them, and I just have never seen that in a book. Also, Jacob, our male main character, has anxiety, and I've never have seen someone portray the feeling of anxiety in a book so well. I myself deal with anxiety. I have generalized anxiety disorder with the way that my mind thinks and the way that I stay up at night panicking about things that are probably never going to happen. And it gets worse as I get older. So the way that she wrote about this, I truly resonated with the male main character, and it made me feel all sorts of types of way. I gave this 5 stars. And then Part of Your World, since this is an interconnected story, we have Bree's best friend from Yours Truly, who is Alexis in Part of Your World, and Alexis meets Daniel after driving back from a funeral, and Daniel tows her luxury car out of a pothole. And Daniel is this carpenter slash bed and breakfast owner. He lives in this very small town that is like 3 to 4 hours away from where Alexis is from, and Alexis is also an ER doctor. Alexis finds herself coming back to this town and really enjoying Daniel's presence, but she knows that he does not fit into her world. Her parents really want her to marry her ex-boyfriend, who is another doctor, and the only person her parents will approve of her marrying or spending the rest of her life with is this doctor that she did on Alexis. Daniel is one of the most green flagged male main characters I've ever read in a book, and I thought their romance was really cute. I did find myself getting a little bit annoyed by Alexis being stuck up or embarrassed of Daniel, but there's a lot of character growth, and I love how this book wrapped up. I think I gave this 5 stars as well. It might be like a 4.5, 4.75 in my book. I liked Yours Truly just a little bit more than Part of Your World, but both are so well written. And Abby Jimenez always has some kind of real life problems that are going on in each story, so you feel like you can relate to it as a reader. And then we have Just for the Summer. This is crazy of me to say, but I gave Just for the Summer 4.5 stars. I feel like every single review I ever see about these standalone books is everyone likes Just for the Summer the best out of all of these, and I actually disagree with the popular opinion on that. I think Just for the Summer is my 3rd favorite. I think it goes Yours Truly, then Part of Your World, then Just for the Summer. So we have Emma and Justin. Emma, who is cursed with every guy that she dates and breaks up with, they end up getting married and finding their one true love. She randomly sees a Reddit post and discovers that Justin, who lives in Minnesota, deals with the exact same curse. Emma is a travel nurse. She deals with a lot of abandonment issues and attachment issues, and she's always constantly moving, and every 6 weeks she picks a new travel nurse job to travel to. She thinks it would be really funny if her and Justin got together and test out if they date one another and they break up, then will both of them find their one true loves, since every time that they break up with someone, the person ends up getting married right away to someone else. They decide to fake date, and the way that this is interconnected with Part of Your World, I just felt like it's so smart the way that Abby Jimenez connected the two. I really loved it. I feel like Justin is one of the most green flagged characters as well, along with Daniel from Part of Your World. The reason why I gave it 4.5 stars though is because I feel like Justin didn't deserve Emma. Emma was really annoying to me. I feel like Alexis in Part of Your World was annoying to me as well, and I also felt like Alexis didn't deserve Daniel, but Emma just really annoyed me with the way that she was selfish and all of that. I don't know, but I really did like this book. It's just not my favorite in the interconnected standalone series by Abby Jimenez, but if you guys haven't read these, push these up your TBR, because these are one of my favorite romance books of all time, and I am a really harsh rater when it comes to romance. The next interconnected standalone series that I'm going to push for you to read this summer is the Chestnut Spring series. I only have 3 out of the 5 books from the Chestnut Spring series. I don't have book 1 and I don't have book 4, but they are on Kindle Unlimited if you don't want to purchase them. Every single one I absolutely love. They're all 4.5 stars or above, and it's one of my favorite series of all time, but they are all cowboy romances, and they're spicy cowboy romances at that. But my favorite, I'd have to say, is Heartless, which is the 2nd book, and Reckless, which is the 4th book. We have Flawless, which is book number 1. That is my least favorite. That is with Rhett and Summer, and Rhett is a bull rider and Summer is, I think, a publicist or something like that, but that one's a little bit of enemies to lovers. It's really not my favorite, but every other book in that series I absolutely love. Then we have Cade and Willa. This is an age gap romance. Cade and Rhett are brothers, and Cade is the oldest, and Willa is Summer's best friend, and Cade is in desperate need of a babysitter, so he uses Willa for his son. This is a 5-star romance book. I absolutely love Willa and Cade's romance. Super spicy, and yeah, I don't know. I feel like the age gap was done really well in this. And then we have Powerless. We have Jasper Jarvis, who is a childhood friend of both Cade and Rhett, and he is a hockey player, so you don't get the cowboy romance in this one. But I have to say, if you like hockey romance and you don't think you'll like a cowboy romance, you can just read Powerless and be satisfied that way. But I highly encourage you to read the series. You actually feel like you're in Chestnut Springs, and that Chestnut Springs is a real place. Jasper and Sloane, they are childhood best friends, and Sloane is getting married. The day that she calls off the wedding is the day that Jasper admits his feelings to her, and it goes from there. Again, super spicy. I think I gave this 4.5 stars. And then we have Reckless, who is about Theo Silva and Summer's sister, who, is it Summer and Winter? No, they did not name their kids Summer and Winter. Oh my god, they did name their kids Summer and Winter. We have Theo and Winter, who is Summer's sister from Flawless, which is the 1st book, and they have a one-night stand, and they have an accidental pregnancy trope, and I don't want to say too much about that, but that one's really good as well. I feel like that one's a 5-star, as well as Heartless. And then we have Hopeless, which is the very last Chestnut Springs book, and this is about Bo. And Bo is actually not a cowboy. He is a military man, and he is Cade and Rhett's brother. He is fake dating Bailey, who is a bartender at this bar in Chestnut Springs. And Bailey is 22 and Beau is 35. And I also have an unpopular opinion with this series. This is everyone's least favorite book, I feel, but it is one of my favorites. I think it's like third place. I might like this one a little bit more than I like Powerless, or they're tied at least. And I don't know, I love this. I think I gave it 4.5 stars, but they are fake married because Bailey is considered the trash of the town because of her brothers, and Beau knows that she's a really hard worker and she needs to build up her reputation so that she can finally leave town and have a fresh start. So Beau offers to fake marry her so that the town perceives her in a different way. It gave me everything I needed. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of age gap romances, but between Heartless and Hopeless, they are one of my favorite books of all time, and you need to read them this summer. Another book that I'm going to recommend to you guys this summer is Out on a Limb by Hannah Bonham Young. I read this over the winter. It's technically not a legit summer book, but I truly believe that any fluffy romance can qualify for summer reading material. So that is why I'm recommending this book to you. We have Winifred, Win, and Beau. It's really funny because the last male main character I talked about, his name was also Beau, but both of them have missing limbs. Beau has a missing leg and Winifred has a underdeveloped arm. I believe on Halloween night they have a one-night stand, and this is an accidental pregnancy trope, and I absolutely loved it. Again, it's a fluffy romance book. I gave it 4.5 stars. It's interesting to see how they navigate their relationship and prove to society that they can be good parents despite having missing limbs. And I believe that Hannah Bonham Young wrote this because she resonates with Win, because I believe, don't quote me on this, but I think Hannah Bonham Young also has an underdeveloped arm, but their romance was super cute. Again, another male main character who has all green flags. I just feel like this was such a cute romance book, and you need to also read this for the summer. We have Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is about Augustus and January. They are complete opposites, but they are both authors. Augustus writes literary fiction and January writes romance books. They accidentally end up living next to each other for the summer when they rent out vacation homes, and both of them are struggling writing their next books. They're both experiencing writer's block, so they feel like it would be fun for them to try to write the other one's genre. January tries writing literary fiction and Augustus tries writing romance. And I have to say, I am not the biggest Emily Henry fan, but this is one of my favorites. I can't wait till the movie comes out, and I gave this 4.5 stars. I just feel like I read this at the right time, because I feel like if I read this in winter, I wouldn't have liked it as much, but I did read it in 2023 when I was in Sicily and I was at the beach, so I really truly feel like this book does bring all the summer vibes. We have One True Loves by Taylor Jenkins Reid. This has such an interesting plot that I've never really have heard an author write about, and that's why I picked this up, because it really intrigued me. We have Emma Blair. In her 20s, she marries her high school sweetheart, Jesse. In their 20s, they get married and they live this beautiful life. Nothing's wrong with their relationship. Emma is a freelance writer and Jesse is a production assistant on nature documentaries. One day, Jesse takes a trip for work and his helicopter goes missing over the Pacific. I believe the accident was 10 years ago and he was never found, so he was presumed to be dead. In her 30s, Emma ends up getting remarried and trying to move on with her life. She marries her old friend Sam, and she's moved on with her life. Her and Sam's marriage is completely fine. They have a healthy marriage up until Jesse comes knocking on Blair's door. And now Blair has both Sam and Jesse to think about, because she never truly divorced Jesse, and it brings up all of these old memories, and she truly is in the story battling on who she should pick, because she didn't have a bad marriage with either one of them, and she never got closure with Jesse. So I just thought that this plot was so interesting. I really think that this is a really good summer book to read. We are gonna jump to some books that I read on Kindle Unlimited that I don't own the physical copies of. I highly, highly, highly recommend reading the Windy City series for the summer. It is a sports romance series set in Chicago. I've only read books 3 and 4, which is Caught Up and Play Along. But it's perfect that I only read those books because I feel like those two specifically are for summer, because both are based off of Kai and Isaiah Rhodes, and they are both Major League Baseball players. We have Caught Up, which is Kai Rhodes' story, and he is a single father. He had a one-night stand a long time ago, and the baby mama wanted absolutely nothing to do with her son, so she drops him off on Kai's doorstep and is like, here you go, I don't really want anything to do with him, so now you have to step up as a father, even though Kai had absolutely no idea that he got this woman pregnant. Kai is a really, really good father, but he is not trustworthy of any woman that comes into his life. He puts being a dad first above everything else, even baseball. And then he meets Miller, and Miller has attachment issues. Miller is the coach's daughter of Kai's baseball team, and the coach knows how Miller has attachment issues, and Miller is, I think, taking like a mental health break from being a chef because she needs to find her creative juice again. And so her dad invites her to stay in Chicago with him just for the summer. Meanwhile, she kind of needs a job, but I don't think she's ready to go back to being a chef just yet. And her dad explains that Kai really needs help this summer with his son because he is a baseball player and he has absolutely no help, but he doesn't trust anyone. So Miller is Kai's babysitter. And it was a really good book that I do recommend, but I will say we have Play Along, which is the 4th book in the Windy City series, and we meet Isaiah Rhodes. And Isaiah Rhodes is Kai Rhodes' brother. In Caught Up, I found Isaiah Rhodes a little annoying, and I was like, there is no way I'm going to like his book when it comes out. And I was like, I'm not even going to read it because he was kind of annoying in Caught Up. And then all of these reviews started coming out, and everyone was like, Play Along is so good, you have to read it. And I'm like, okay. So I read it. 5 stars. 5 stars across the board. It's one of my favorite romance books. And then you find out why Isaiah is so obnoxiously funny in Play Along. The banter between him and Kennedy is absolutely insane. Kennedy is she the sports doctor? She's either the sports doctor or trainer of the baseball team, and she's not willing to risk her job at all, so she never dates players and never even thinks to get involved with one. And Isaiah has had this crush on Kennedy for years. He's told the team he's gonna marry her. They end up accidentally meeting in Las Vegas, and they end up accidentally getting drunk one night and being married to one another. So we have the fake marriage trope, and this was just everything. The reason why you find out he's obnoxiously funny and the way that he just pines over Kennedy and is absolutely obsessed with her is everything. And I feel like I need to reread this book soon, but I totally recommend reading it for the summer, especially since they're both baseball players. The last books in my summer book recommendations are none other than The Love Hypothesis and Love Theoretically by Ali Hazelwood. I have talked about Ali Hazelwood a little bit in my videos, and I absolutely love her as an author. She is an ex-fanfic author, and I feel like if you ever have read fanfiction, I feel like they're so good at writing romance books because they go straight to the plot. You're never bored. I feel like the stories are always super fast paced. The only thing I will say is that these aren't directly summer romance books, but I feel like you should read these in the summer because they are really good, spicy, fluffy romance books. We have Olive Smith and Adam Carlson. Olive is a PhD student and Adam is a professor. His best friend is now dating one of Olive's exes, and Olive is 100% okay with it, but her best friend isn't. She feels like she did Olive wrong, even though Olive is like, no, you should date him. He's way more perfect for you than he was for me. But since Olive is single, her friend doesn't believe that. So Olive decides that she needs to start dating someone right away so that her friend feels like it's okay to now date her ex-boyfriend. So Olive kisses the first person she sees, and it happens to be none other than Adam Carlson, who is a grumpy professor at the university, and no one likes him. I absolutely love the grumpy ex-sunshine trope, especially when the guy is the grumpy one and the girl is the golden retriever. I absolutely love how Adam sticks up for Olive in the story, and there was one little spice scene in here, and honestly I felt like it was perfect for the story. I just really feel like you should read this for the summer, and if not for the summer, then for the fall, winter, or spring, because this one's one of my favorites. And then we have Love Theoretically. And if you asked me to pick between Love Theoretically or The Love Hypothesis, I would not be able to choose because both are 5 stars in my book. We have Jack Turner Smith and Elsie Hanaway. Elsie offers her services to be a fake girlfriend in order to supplement her income. She is a professor, but being a adjunct professor does not pay her bills. So by night, she is a fake girlfriend. And she happens to fake date the brother of her arch nemesis, Jack Turner Smith. Jack Smith is her arch nemesis who happens to rule over the physics department at MIT, and he also stands in her way of her dream job. She obviously needs to get this job in order to quit her fake girlfriend job. I don't want to say much about this book because if I do, then it spoils a lot of it, but 5 stars across the board. I'm going to share with you guys what's on my summer TBR. This is like the first year where I'm like, wow, I am actually looking forward to reading in the summer. I'm going to read what these books are about just because I don't know off of the top of my head. But the first book that I want to read is Loved One by Aisha Muhar. I don't know how to say that. But anyways, Loved One. It's a debut novel about a woman, Julia, who grieves the unexpected death of her first love and close friend Gabe by embarking on a journey to collect his belongings, leading her to confront his last girlfriend, Elizabeth, in a story that explores love, loss, memory, and friendship with humor and emotional depth. Is this a summer book? I don't know, but everyone is raving about it, and I feel like the cover is very summery, so we're gonna go with it. The next book that I haven't read that is truly a summer book is Every Summer After by Carly Fortune. I have not read anything by Carly Fortune, but I think it's either a TV show or a movie. I think it's a movie, but they're changing it from Every Summer After to Every Year After. All I know is this is always on everyone's summer book racks, and I'm like, okay, I have to read it, especially with the TV show coming out. But I hear a lot of people talk about One Golden Summer, which follows Every Summer After. I believe that this is an interconnected standalone series, and everyone says that One Golden Summer is their absolute favorite romance book of all time. So I'm gonna read Every Summer After first, and then One Golden Summer is also on my TBR. And I also did just order Our Perfect Storm by Carly Fortune. Not very smart of me to order all 3 books when I've never have read Carly Fortune, but you know, so many people rave about her as an author, and I want to see what all the hype is about. And Our Perfect Storm just released, I think, last month. I believe that it's about this girl who is getting married, and on the day of her wedding she breaks up her marriage. She never cancels her honeymoon, and our male main character goes up to her and is like, you know, you shouldn't cancel this honeymoon. I'll go with you in place of your ex-fiance. So they do that, and they obviously fall in love because it's a romance book. But I wanted to give my review on it because I've seen so many people reviewing the book and saying it's good. So hopefully I love that. We have Atmosphere by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I believe that this came out last year, but I never got around to reading it. This is a historical fiction novel about Joan Goodwin, one of the first women to join NASA's shuttle program in the 1980s, focusing on her career in a secret romance with fellow astronaut Vanessa Ford and a catastrophic mission that serves as the book's framing device. And I love Taylor Jenkins Reid as an author. I read The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo and One True Loves by her, and I loved both books. And I feel like Atmosphere is going to be a really good summer book for me to read. I used to think about wanting to be an astronaut when I was younger, and then, which, like, not seriously, but it was an option for a little bit. And then I realized as I got older, because I have generalized anxiety disorder, that there is no way in hell I could ever be an astronaut. Yeah, that's not happening. I will just read about astronauts for now and live through my dreams of being an astronaut that way. And then we have Into the Blue by Emma Brody. Again, not specifically a summer book, but I want to read it this summer because everyone is hyping it up online, and I've seen so many people also give this 5 stars. And if you don't know what it's about AJ Graves, an ambitious writer, and Noah Drew, an heir to an acting dynasty. After meeting in a Massachusetts video store, they bond deeply over acting and a cult classic sci-fi show before an abrupt separation. Their careers intertwine years later as they navigate unpredictable fame, hidden secrets, and undeniable chemistry. And a lot of people say it's a very emotional read. So I don't really know why I want to read a bunch of emotional books this summer, but I'm taking it because I don't ever really like branch out from fantasy, and I just want something new. But anyways, that is my summer TBR. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, please give it a big thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel. I make book content weekly. Let me know in the comments down below what you guys are reading for the summer and what I should push up on my TBR, since I have a lot of books. Some of them I didn't even mention in this video because I know it would be such a pain for me to edit later on. So in the comments down below, let me know what you would recommend for me to read first. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!